How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hopefully one is having a very lovely day. The Bengals. Not gonna say it. No, it's not happened. Have not watched that Super Bowl over again. I've heard a lot of people say, you watched Super Bowl over yet? No, it's not gonna, it's over. Super Bowl's in the past. I know what could have been. Wish it would have been. But it's over. You got to be very happy, and you can't be looking back and regret. Or I guess you can look back, watch that game in excitement, say Bengals made the Super Bowl, but you got to be happy with what this team did last season. The big question now arises when you hear this year in and year out: is there going to be was it a Super Bowl fluke year? Is it going to be one of those Super Bowl hangover years that you hear ever so talked about with the team that does lose the Super Bowl? Those Super Bowl hangovers, they do exist, but I got to say they are a little overhyped. We hear about them a lot. But since 2011, there's been 3 teams that have not made this playoffs following a year they made the Super Bowl. One of those teams was Cam Newton's team, where we've seen a giant regression out of Cam Newton. We've seen a couple injury-riddled teams like the San Francisco 49ers, who just, remember they made the Super Bowl the next year. They was just plowed, absolutely decimated with injuries across the board. And there's another common denominator, if you will, on these teams that didn't make the Super Bowl. It was where they had shaky quarterback situations, where it wasn't that dominant franchise elite quarterback, whereas your average quarterback, the guy that can just get the job done, or a guy that was regressing. The Bengals don't have that on their hands here. They got themselves an ascending elite quarterback that just finished his full season in the league, and it was up there in the MVP conversation in doing so. Hey, it's easy to look at the negatives, though. Let's look at the positives. The Patriots, the Chiefs, the Broncos with Peyton Manning all lost Super Bowls in the last 10 years and found their way to make playoffs again next year, make AFC championship games next year, win Super Bowls ensuing years. And you have every reason to believe the Bengals can be one of those teams this year as well. It's more likely they make playoffs in the year after than it is they don't make playoffs. And for that reason, I don't like to think about the Super Bowl curse, the Super Bowl hangover, as something that's going to plague any team. Now, the Bengals do walk into this season with a much tougher schedule than they did the year prior. They're going to run a first place schedule where they're going to be playing the first place team in every division in the AFC this season. You're going to see the Bills. You're going to see the Titans. You're going to see the Chiefs again. They got to play the Cowboys. You're going to play the Ravens twice. They play the Buccaneers this year. They're running a gauntlet. And that's going to make things a lot tougher, obviously. This is also a team, though, last year that played really well in the big games, like the Kansas City game. You've seen it in playoffs. This is a team that rises up to the occasion when playoffs come around. And another big thing about these Super Bowl teams, and sometimes you see them fall apart, is can you keep that team together the next year? I think the Bengals, not only did they keep the team together, but they improved this team, and they improved it drastically from an offensive line standpoint. The biggest issue, the glaring hole of this team last season was the offensive line, and Joe Burrow still managed to go out there and tear teams apart. To think this guy's going to have protection this year to throw the football, the team's improved from last year. No questions about it. If the defense can maintain what they did last season, you improve that offensive line, you have to believe this is another playoff contender, and anything can happen once you get the playoffs. I think that's where you look at when you say Super Bowl hangover. I imagine missing playoffs. You make playoffs, that's what you want to do. It's going to be a tough division, but doesn't mean you can't make playoffs. Doesn't mean you can't make a push. Bengals proved on last season they could win on the road. They proved last season they could win the big games. They're going to get a lot of big games this season. A lot of primetime games are here and talk about this year as well. But overall, barring injuries, and you have to hope the Bengals did stay very healthy on the defensive side of the football last season. You have to hope there is no, really across the board, you have to hope there is no injuries once again this season. The injuries can decimate a team and they can deter your path to playoffs. The Bengals can stay healthy. You have every reason to believe, I have every reason to believe this team's going to make playoffs once again this season. This team's going to, again, contend for a Super Bowl this season. There ain't going to be a Super Bowl hangover out of this Cincinnati Bengals team. That's our personal thoughts. Love to hear your guys' as always. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.